As the ink was drying on one of the world's biggest trade deals signed in Uruguay this month and hailed as a milestone for the global economy, anger was brewing thousands of miles away in France. Under the agreement between the EU on one hand and Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay on the other, tariffs will be greatly reduced and the amounts of imports and exports allowed will be increased. The deal will affect almost 800 million people. This deal affecting 800 million people is quite a lot. It comes as a marked contrast to Donald Trump's plans to greatly increase the protectionism when he returns to the White House next month. The deal still needs to be approved by the 27 EU member states, and France is planning to block it due to fears that it will harm its farming sector. So, this deal has been inked, but it has to be accepted by the 27 EU states for it to be in full effect. And France is already blocking it because they are afraid that it will affect their farming sector. Yes, because a deal that is going to affect 800 million people in the world is quite a lot. So what does it tell you? It tells you that the politicians were not thinking properly when they were signing this deal, because if they thought it through, if they allow or if they considered other measures, they would have considered these 800 million people that this deal is going to affect, and they would have tried harder to find a different approach in order to make sure that these 800 million people are not affected by this deal. But at the end of the day, it's just the politicians' things. They just do things for their own benefit, for their greed, for them to keep getting their pockets filled. Let's go to a 34-year-old French farmer says she is worried about the future if the planned agreement goes ahead. I fear that the deal will mean making ends meet becoming even more difficult for farmers like me. As a result, she is crossing her fingers that the French government will be able to stop it. So this 34-year-old farmer is afraid for her future. Making ends meet is already difficult, but when this deal is being agreed, it means that for this farmer and many other farmers in France, all over Europe, and these other countries that signed this deal, life will even be more difficult for the farmers. And what does it mean? When life is more difficult for the farmers, it's equally difficult for everybody, because the farmers play a very vital role in our existence. The farmers, through their works, play a very vital role, whether the prices of the commodities we are buying, we are going to be getting from them, are going to be cheaper or going to be higher. So if life is already difficult for the farmers themselves, that means it's going to be for all of us. I just hope that the other 27 countries in Europe don't accept this deal to save these 800 million people.